And it's really because there's that opportunity to work with the best professionals in this industry. Imagine, GFIA committee members and members of GFIA itself. There's includes some of the brilliant minds that have shaped the financial services industry, the funds and investments industry in Gibraltar. So just being in that circle, you get exposed to that knowledge and you learn a lot. And I'm proud to say that GFIA is actually one of the most active associations in Gibraltar. There's always something going on. There's always a project, an initiative. And I think the perfect example is actually the current working group right now tasked to update the crypto code of conduct. And being a part of that working group is an achievement in itself, because not everyone can say that that we are part of a jurisdiction that's built such a code, and Gibraltar is definitely leading in that space. So that's just one of the perks of being in that role and working with Gibraltar Funds Investment Association.
So for me, working in audit, as I do, and working in a smaller firm, you do have to get involved in lots of different industries. But one of the industries that started interesting me a lot more was the fund and investment management space. So I attended a GFIA AGM, and I met the executive committee, and they were extremely welcoming, and they co-opted me in. I wasn't planning on joining so soon, but really, really nice. And like Faith said, you've got a mixture of bankers, of accountants, of fund administrators, lawyers, and you get involved in a lot of projects that in my day-to-day I probably wouldn't do. So one of the things that we're doing now is updating the crypto code of conduct, and things like legislation. So working with lawyers on updating the funds legislation. So seeing that side of things and the accounting side of things is extremely interesting as well.
Yeah, great. So you both mentioned crypto. Have you found that tech and startups are also interesting areas for investment locally?
We've definitely seen an increase in the number of startups that we work with. Client inquiries for residency in Gibraltar is definitely coming. I think now people are starting to really recognize Gibraltar as a jurisdiction for that. From a fund point of view, obviously, we've had PwC reports that rank us third in the world. So I think people are starting to, the message of Gibraltar as a jurisdiction that is really crypto supportive, that has an ecosystem around it, that has government support, is really getting out there. And from that point of view, we're seeing much more interest. I think Gibraltar is a great venue for that. Everything is easy. It's easy to integrate. Language, it's very easy to get going. There's a lot of support.
And to add to that, I think Gibraltar is the best jurisdiction for that kind of small startups, small businesses, tech startups, because you have a flexible but robust legislation framework, and you have professionals that are exposed to working internationally, and there's local and international brands, and we have some of the best professionals in this industry.
Yeah, I mirror what they say, and I think tech and startups are extremely interesting, and with funds being so versatile, I think it's a new industry for Gibraltar, but I think it's something that it's moving towards.
Do you think there's a need for serious funding advisory for startups in Gibraltar?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a need for that, both on the startup side and the investor side. So you can have a startup or an entrepreneur that's really, really good at the techie side of things, but they're not good at the business side, or they're not good at the numbers side. And at the same time, you want the investors to be able to understand the information that's coming out from the startup, making sure that they know that the startup is substantial, it's viable, and the message that they're getting across. So I think it's really important on both sides of the fence.
I think for startups as well, it's always the funding is still in traditional old investor hands, and you do need to integrate and work with that, and you need to understand what they expect, what they need in return, information, risk versus reward. So I do think there's something in every startup realizing this is my skill set as an individual, and this is what I'm going to go and search for help from advisors on. I don't think any of us can be competent and in every area. And if that means you need advice on regulation, administrative side, then take it and work with somebody who has that opportunity there.
And we definitely also have the responsibility to protect the reputation of Gibraltar as a jurisdiction. It's up to us as professionals working in this industry to make sure that these startups go about it the right way. So the key principle, or one of the key principles I've always learned working in EY, is to always consult. So I think it also applies to any startup, any business. Always consult, and always consult with the professionals from various different fields, so that to ensure that your business is a success or will become a success.
Thanks. That's really insightful. Lastly, then, just to finish up with the spirit of International Women's Day next week, all of you have careers in accountancy. How do you feel about the Big Four accounting firms having women at the head? And do you think this is going to help inspire more women to aim for C-level positions, things like that?
Okay, I'll take this one. Definitely, I can totally relate to that, 100%, because our country managing partner is Angelique Linares. So, perfect example. And I really look up to her. She's one of my role models. So I'm proud to be working in a firm where, at the top there is a woman leading. So it's definitely motivating to see that. And it kind of gets rid of the fear of, and also encourages you. And you realize that, yes, you can do it as a woman. But also, I'd like to add, I think it's also wider than that, because although we've done quite a lot already, and we still need to do more, I know, but I think in this day and age, there's already a lot of strong women that know what they want, women who are confident in what they want, whether it's going to be a woman in leadership wanting to take that top position, or a woman working on a passion project, or maybe choosing to be a full-time mother, or even fighting in a war. So, as we've seen in recent events. So it's women are able to take it and have that confidence. So that's good to know. And I'd also like to add, not just in my own experience, this is my personal experience, I wouldn't have reached this part of my career had it not been for the support or the guidance of several mentors I've had throughout the years, Johan being one of them. And Johan is male, and he's a male mentor. And I really recognize that, male or men do play a key role in pushing for that agenda as well.
So I totally agree with what you're saying. I do think it's important for young women in the firm to see a woman in leadership. They see, look, there's a place for me, or if I have the right skill set and I work hard, I can make it as well. But I mirror what you're saying. At the same time, I've been extremely supported by men in my firm, some of who are here today, supporting me still. So I think it's important to have male role models and male support as well. I just also wanted to say that it's not only about having women, but diversity across all ways in the C-level or the leadership roles. So I think that's important as well nowadays, especially.
Definitely.
It's definitely much wider, I think, as well than the accounting firms in Gibraltar. Some of the top DLT firms, their key figureheads within Gibraltar are female. When I first started, so even just looking back 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought the opportunities that are available to me now would have been there then. We are coming very quickly, which is fantastic, but there's obviously still a lot more that we can do. And I think the conversation has shifted, and let's take the last 2 years of pandemic and take the good from that, which is flexible working, use of technology to allow people to adjust their hours, work from home, integrate family. Let's take that positive from there and keep that going to grow into the future.
That's really nice thought, yeah, for sure. Okay, that's about all I have for the questions. Do you think we have time for any Q&A, or do you want to move
Anybody
straight
want
forward?
to ask the panel any questions? Anybody?
Just easy ones.
Maybe one or two if we've got some time. But don't everyone start at once. It's all right.
Okay, well, we can wait to the end of the session as well, and we'll have a bit of networking afterwards, so you're more than welcome to talk to the panelists. But I want to say thank you so much for joining us. It's been really great, short and sweet, but really, really on point. So thank you so much. A big round of applause for them.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Ayelet.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure. So, got a few things to get through, but we'll see how we go for time. Maybe you can start off by telling us a bit about your early journey. How did you come to Gibraltar? What was life like growing up in Israel? How did you
Wow,
find
that
things?
was a journey, to be honest with you. I actually started when I was a very brave girl in the age of 17 from a very small town in Israel. And I decided that I'm leaving. I want to go and explore the world and I want to travel. I got a very, very good offer from someone, a teacher, and that said to me, Ayelet, come and be a part-time nanny for our little daughter. You can live with us, and then you can learn some English and enjoy some London. And I said, fantastic, that is such a great idea. I came to my dad and I told him, Daddy, I really want to go. What did you think he said? No way, you're not going anywhere. And I said, but Daddy, I really want to go. I'll make this story really short. I had to convince him to actually let me go to London. And that was actually a very good idea of my teacher that said, I have such a good idea for your dad. Tell him to come with you. You will see where exactly you're going to live. If he likes it, you can stay. And if you don't like it, he can take you back home. I said, that is perfect idea. So I came to my dad with this idea. My dad never traveled in his life. And he said, wow, that is great. I really, really want to go and see London. And I said, fantastic. So we arrived to the apartment of this family. I opened the door. I'm coming from a family of 5 children, and 4 of the kids been in the same room, okay? So you need to understand the situation at home. We had a small house, so not much privilege in terms of financial situation. And then when I saw the room that I got, it was with double bed. I had TV in the room. Everything was like rose gold, really, really nice and posh. And I still remember the words of my dad. He said to me, Ayelet, I think I have a very good idea. And I said, what? And he said, I think I will stay here and you going back home. That's what he said to me. So that was a type of blessing for my dad, that I can stay and I can enjoy London. And I did it. And you know what? After 3 months, I met my husband in the bus stop, and the rest was history. So when I came back to Israel, I just found a job in the post office, which I enjoyed very much. And I love people. I'm actually driven by people. This is my petrol. This is my energy. And I love my job. And I had a very good friends, and I like all my environment and all the situation that I had. But then Iran came with a nice idea. Ayelet, we got an offer to do relocation to Gibraltar. And I'm like, what? Gibraltar? And the good thing is, I will tell you a secret. I came to Gibraltar for my honeymoon. So I still have the photos with the monkeys and with my ring, my married ring, like that. So when he got the offer, I said, that is sign from God. I need to go to Gibraltar. Believe me, I didn't know the real reason why I'm going to Gibraltar. But now I don't even regret it at all. So it's such a blessing. That's how I came to Gibraltar.
Thank you for sharing. As you say, the rest is history. I mean, now you're known as the relocation guru, so you must have travelled quite a bit, and you probably have a few tips to share as well.
Wow, my eldest son is 20, and he's been already in 60 countries, so you understand how much we travel. We love traveling. I think I always say to my husband, if we save all the money that we travel, we could actually buy a few houses. But we love the experience. So I really relate to Faith, what you said. I think that's what you remember at the end of the day, and that's what you take with you to meet a lot of people around the world, and the authentic way, nice food, nice experience. I think that is really, really important. As a person that published the book Relocation, Darling Relocation, and as a person, as an expert that gives a lot of consultation on relocation, actually almost every single day, as we bring a lot of companies to Gibraltar to relocate to Gibraltar, and not just to Gibraltar. I have a connection in 50 countries around the world, so I give a lot of consultation on relocation to Singapore, to USA, to Australia, by the way. You came from Australia, so Australia as well. So I always say few things very, very important. I always say to all my clients, don't get too cliquey to your group. Like, just for example, I'm Jewish, Israeli, and I always recommend to all the Israeli, don't be friends just with the Israeli. There is amazing other people that come in from different religion, different culture, different language, different mentality. Be open up to everybody, because you never know what life will bring to you. And I think it's very, very important to be open to everybody. And believe me, there is opportunities every single day. When you walk in Main Street, there is opportunity. You just need to see it. And you can meet beautiful people every single day. Just enjoy the journey and collect all these beautiful, amazing people to your journey. I think it is very, very important. And another thing that we'll say is, like, if you relocated and you are new, just walk in a new path. Try to explore every day something different. Different food, different restaurant, different shop. And sometimes I think us as a human being, we like to be very stable and we don't like changes and things like that. But I really, really believe that if we try something new every single day, like if you have a route normally to go to work, and you don't have to do it exactly the same. There is so many ways to do it, because you never know what will come from the other side. So that is really things that I will recommend people be open to other people and don't be judgeable so much. All of us, we're coming from different culture, different religion, different mentality, and I think it is very important to accept and respect everybody, because we are different and the world is so beautiful because we are different. I think it is
I completely agree from my side. I mean, I didn't even know where Gibraltar was before I moved here from Australia. I knew it was somewhere in the UK, but kind of close. But being open to things in the community, just you find yourself embracing wonderful people and experiences.
And they're amazing people. The people of Gibraltar, I'm telling you, one of the best. And I've been traveling a lot, but they are amazing. Really amazing. I mean it. I really, from the bottom of my heart.
What's one of the biggest challenges you faced along the way?
Wow, my life is a roller coaster. Shall I start? No, I will say it very, very short. I think there is a lot of challenges always. But if to be honest with you, every challenge that I have in life, I look at it as opportunity. And as I said, I always said that, I'm an international speaker, so I speak in so many places around the world. And I always said that for me, everything is opportunity. When you say to me no for something that I ask you, it's opportunity for me, because of this no, I will go to her and I'll ask her. And if she will tell me no, I will ask her, but she will tell me yes at the end. So it's really a journey of opportunities. So I think if you have challenge in life, just look at it the other way. Don't look at it as so hard. Oh, life is so tough. Oh my God, what shall I do? just look at it. There is no impossible in life. And I always take it as a very, very good tip. Impossible, it's I am possible. Remember that. Impossible, it's I am possible. There is nothing in life that you can't do. And believe me, you can do everything and you can achieve everything. But you really need to want it. And second of all, you need to work really, really hard. Because if you think things will come to you easily in life, forget it. Olvídate. No way. No way. You have to work really, really hard to achieve everything that you dream of.
That's very true. Speaking of working hard, it seems around 2014 there was a bit of a shift in your career. You started your own business, you became chairwoman at GibRael. What motivated you around that time? What changed?
So I don't know if you know or not, but I used to be a manager in the Postal Bank for 9 years in Israel. And when I came to Gibraltar, I came with my master already. I had my first degree and my master in politics, which I love very much. And I said, okay, but what now? I sacrificed so much for my husband, but what about me? I'm going to stay at home now? And I said, no way, I can't stay at home. And I'm sure that some of you actually remember my beginning here in Gibraltar, because I started to work in Syria. I'm a professional makeup artist. I did it when I was 19. I went for an interview. They accepted me straight away. Within the interview, he said, okay, when you want to start? That's what he said to me. And I started, and I loved every minute in Syria. I loved it very much. But when I started to do my PhD, I said, okay, what are you doing here? This is not really for you. And I still remember, I don't know if you remember, but Solomon Syria is one of really the legend of Gibraltar. He died, and he used to tell me in Spanish, vete de aquí, you are not belong here. Not in a bad way, because he loved politics, he'd been in the politics of Gibraltar. He used to tell me, you are wasted here, you have to go, you have to. And then I had another manager, another boss that used to tell me, oh, you are a very good seller. You sell so good, stay here, stay here. So that's what I always had. The one that wants money for me and the other one that actually believes in me. And one day I decided that I'm leaving. And it actually was more or less at the same time that Iran wanted to move on from Deloitte. Deloitte was the reason why we came to Gibraltar, and they've been amazing in welcoming us really here in Gibraltar. But it was just about time for him to go to move on in his career. And he said to me one night, Ayelet, I decided I want to leave my job. I think every normal wife will tell her husband, what, are you crazy? You have such a good position. And back then I used to work as well in Bed Victor, now I remember. And I had a very good position as well as a head of VIP. And then I said to him, you know what, I'm leaving too. So both of us, we left very good jobs with very good salaries, and we've been brave to really go into a deep water. And we set up the Benefit Business Solution, which is a company that we act as a representative on the ground for lots of companies that come in from all around the world to Gibraltar. And we give a lot of services to them, and of course the relocation aspect as well. And then in terms of GibRael, I fell in love with Gibraltar after 2.5 years that I lived here. And then I started to feel that I was cheating in my country because I fell in love with the other country that I moved to. And I'm like, Ayelet, you're Israeli. You're very patriotic Israeli. How come I'm allowed to love two countries? It's really impossible. But then I had the idea of setting up the Gibraltar-Israel Chamber of Commerce. And I said, I have a very good idea. If I will be a good ambassador for Gibraltar and for Israel at the same time, I will feel good about myself. So to be honest with you, GibRael started as my self-interest, let's put it that way. First of all, to feel good about myself, that's the most important thing, is to feel first of all good about yourself, and then you do the rest. To be honest with you, to tell you that GibRael will become what it became, a giant chamber of commerce here in Gibraltar, no, I didn't. But we're working very, very hard, and we're doing an amazing job, I think, in promoting Gibraltar in all over the world, not just in Israel. So that's how it started.
Yeah, very admirable. You mentioned working on a PhD, but I mean, at the same time, you must be very busy. I mean, you're lecturing around the world, mother of 3, you just published another book. I mean, what's the key to juggling so many different things all at once?
What did I say before? I am possible. It's all about priority in life. If you really want to go to the gym, you have time to go to the gym. If you want to see a friend, you have time to go and see a friend. It's whatever you want in life and whatever you welcome in your life, that's what will come to you. So if you want to dream big, dream big. If you want to stay at home as a mother with the kids, that's fine. I say always that I never measure success, because for me, you can be super successful, and for yourself, you're not successful at all. So if you want to open a bakery and you want to sell some cookies and you see that as a success, I will be more than happy to accept this as a success. If you want to, to raise your kids at home and to be there all day long when your husband is at work, that's fine with me. So nobody can measure your success. It's what I want, what I want to achieve in life. It doesn't mean that a person that actually juggling with 400 employees is the most successful person in the world. Success is something what you see as a success. And don't listen to the media and don't listen to friends and things like that. Oh, you didn't finish your GCC, you didn't finish your A-level. You don't have a master. You don't have PhD. Who decide that? It's a norm of the actual the society. And I think this is wrong. So we have to look at the success in our own eyes. And whatever we want to achieve, we will achieve in our own way as well.
Bit more general now, but what drives and inspires you the most?
I'll tell you, I love this question, Mark. Seriously, when you sent it to me, I loved it and I really related to this question. And the reason is because I said, I love people. I wake up in the morning and I always say to myself, okay, who I'm going to meet today? Who is the one that's going to get a compliment from me today? Who is the one that's going to give me a compliment today? So I'm learning from everybody. I'm learning from a child in the school. I'm learning from the person that cleaned the floor. I'm learning from a very successful woman, a man. I learn from everybody, and I'm very, very thirsty. So I look at everybody now, even now, when we spoke just before with the ladies, with Bua on the back, every time that people just take out one sentence, they inspire me. There is something there, there is a spark there that inspires me. So all of you are my inspiration, and I mean it, really, really mean it. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Really appreciate it.
As Denise mentioned, book launch. I'd say most of Gibraltar probably knows a little bit about it, but tell us more in your own words about the book.
Okay. First of all, we have one lady that rocks the rock, Denise Matthew. Please, round of applause. Denise will agree with me, and I think some of you have as well, that been yesterday in the party. I just said that before, I think, to Bua and to Mark, that yesterday morning lots of people said to me, oh Ayelet, I'm sorry I can't come to the event. Oh Ayelet, I'm sorry my son is sick. Oh Ayelet, I'm in self-isolation. And I said to her, oh my God, I think we're going to have like 50 people in the launch. And he said, don't worry. You know, Iran is really a great support husband, and I really want a round of applause to my husband. And I said to him, oh my God, what should we do? And he said, don't you worry, everything will be okay. Yesterday, I think we had an argument with the waiters. How many people came? It was around 300 people. We couldn't believe it, between 280 to 300 people. And that was amazing just to see all the supports of the people of Gibraltar. And the book is about 22 powerful ladies that contribute to Gibraltar in a different way. And I will tell you a beautiful story. Normally, when I'm traveling around the world, I always take my kids. Not all of them, sometimes all of them, but not all of them. And in that specific trip to London, I took my daughter with me. Back then, she was 7 years old. And I took her with me for the meeting. We finished the meeting. Obviously, I have a babysitter with me until I finish the meeting. She's not coming with me to the meeting. Huh? Don't understood me wrongly. And then once I finished the meeting, I said, okay, this is our time now. We want to enjoy London, some shopping. Who is going to London without shopping, of course? So once we finish with the shopping and things like that, I always like to give some added value to my kids. So I took her to the Parliament. And I don't know if you actually visit the Parliament, but once you finish the Parliament, there is a shop of a souvenir shop. And then me and her, we saw together a beautiful book says, The Woman That Changed the World. And both of us looked at it, and she's very like me about, the power of the woman and things like that. And we both said, wow, what an amazing book it is. And there is a lot of ladies that changed the world, like Anne-Marie and all the rest. And my daughter actually knew them by heart. And I said to her, wow, I did such a good job. She was 7 and she knew them by heart. I was in shock. And she said, Mommy, please, can you buy it for me? And I said, of course I will buy it for you. And I will even dedicate it to you because I really believe that one day you will be the lady that will change the world. And that's what I did for her. So I bought this book, and on the way back I said, why we don't have something like that in Gibraltar? And I Googled up, and if you do like powerful ladies in Israel, powerful ladies in New York, powerful ladies in Berlin, and whatever, there is plenty of lists. Try and Google now, powerful ladies in Gibraltar, no hay nada. There is nobody like, I know so many powerful ladies in Gibraltar. Why do they not exist in this list? And I was like, okay, we have to do something about it. And I actually shared this idea with Shavit. Shavit is my daughter. It means the comet star. And I said to her, Shavit, what do you think? She said, it's an amazing idea. I came back home and I said to her, I have a name. The Ladies That Rock the Rock. And all my ideas actually come in at night at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. This is me, non-stop. And I loved it. So, and to be honest with you, this year was an easy year for me, not related to COVID. I know COVID was really, really difficult, but it's already 3 years. But my mom, she actually got heart attack, and she had to do 5 bypass operation. And it wasn't easy for me because we were very, very close, me and her. And I think when you are sad, as a writer, as a journalist, I found a lot of strength and a lot of like a saver. Something that saved me when I had that therapy to write. And I started writing and writing and writing and writing. Everything just came out to me. And then I said, okay, so we have to do something very special about it. It's not going to be just about my story. It's going to be story of other ladies. And then I said, okay, it's 2022, International Women's Day. Let's do something about it. We'll choose 22 ladies. And I promise you, I contact them, and everybody said, I want to be in this book. I want to be in this book. And I want to be in this. And just it became such a beautiful book. And so the book actually has 3 parts. The first part is a novella, like a personal story. The second part is about the 22 beautiful, amazing ladies that contribute to Gibraltar so much. And the third one is actually you have a lot of personal development tasks to fill up as a reader. As you read along, you actually fill it up, and then it's becoming like your personal diary. So you will leave this book next to your bed, you fill up all your dreams, and you want to be like Denise one day, you want to be like Justine Picardo one day, you want to be like Angelique Linares one day. So I think you keep it in the back of your mind, and one day you will be, because all your dreams come true in that way. You have to dream it, and then it will happen. And I'm very, very proud of the result of this book, and I'm very grateful to the entire community of Gibraltar to help us so much and to do such a beautiful event yesterday. And as Denise knows, we have another event in the 8th of March for International Women's Day. And at the end of March, I'm taking as well a female delegation to Morocco. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's a month of celebration. I really appreciate all men, as Faith said about Johan and other people mentioned about mentors. Most of my mentors have been male as well, and I totally agree with you. I even mentioned them in my book, and I thank them so much. Because of them, I became who I am today. So I'm not coming in this book in respect of, I'm complaining, we don't have equality in Gibraltar. Not at all. If you really want to get something in life, you can get it. There is always some amazing people that will open the door for you at the end of the day. And if you work hard and you prove yourself, people want to support you. And people want to do things for you. And if they really understand that you are a person that do things and make things moving, they will help you even more. So dream big, enjoy life, love others, respect others. I think this is really key for successful life.
Last question to finish off. We're here to a bit of a Q&A at the end. I'm sure some people have some questions. As a successful person in business, what's the one piece of advice you'd give to entrepreneurs starting out in their business for the first time?
I will say it in 2 words. Work hard. If you think things will come to you easily in life, forget it. It's not. If you see my smile and you say, she's smiling, so she's not. I'm working really, really, really hard around the clock. And if I will tell you that something came to me easily in my life, I will lie to you. Seriously. Everything coming very, very difficult. And I think Denise will relate as well to what I'm saying here. Because we had a journey to get to who we are now. And it's not easy. And even though you see us both smiling, it's hard, but we enjoy the journey. And I think that's the most important thing. Because if you're doing something that you love, you're doing it with joy. So, you have the smile as well. So work hard and things will come. And if you think it will come after like 3 months or 4 months, forget it. It's years of hard work. So be dedicated, work hard, believe in yourself, and surround yourself with positive people and energy. If I will actually mention that, I think this is really important. Positive energy, that people will support you from the bottom of their heart, that they want your success. They want you to do something with your life. So if you see a bit of negativity, just clear it up. It's really, really important to remember. I'm talking men, women, not just in business, in life in generally. Everything that poisons you, just take it away from you. And everything is in your hands, so everything really depends on you. Thank you so much. You did a very good job for the first live. You have to really round of applause to her.
Thank you.
I just want to say just one thing. You have the book here with Benedict. She's selling it there. If you want me to sign, I will do it with pleasure. And thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you. I was listening very closely to the conversation. Anybody have any questions for Ayelet? I know
I'm okay with not easy one.
And also, I think we're in a little bit of a shy crowd today, although it's very intimate. So you can ask questions to Ayelet directly, but just to wrap up, I have some incredible key takeaways from what you've said today. One of them is never judge, never underestimate, and also give people an opportunity. And with that, I'm going to say, Yosra has just joined me in January. I met her through the EV Foundation. I decided to give her an opportunity, and she is absolutely incredible, and I'm super proud of her. Mark came to me a couple of years ago and said, I want to help you out and be a volunteer, and it's just gone from strength to strength. So thank you so much for supporting me. And really, the last thing I'm going to say is we have people here from EV Foundation. Nicole Jones, I mentioned you in my part of the book that I wrote about as a person who inspires me.
Now you have to read the book.
Yes. I bought a copy for you, but I forgot to bring it today because it's been crazy. But This is a lady who inspires me because she has so much empathy and time for other people, generally gives her heart and soul to helping others. So speak to her and help her out and support her, because that's what we should be doing. So thank you so much for joining us today. And